Chile tuni Lamka Town Hall Talks Lamka Young Leaders Forum inaku makaina ki bol to zel khatenga ki ginni Saturday last Saturday aki hi zel tuni episode li na di nei te non di nyoma I patyan haibang hunaksa taglaka I hunhoi teng pe zelena bana speaker dibang I ilaka mi I theina lama leswan huai sitwai hello mi tam tak laka tu ni na I speaker di bang pe zom je le na hi bang hun hoi jang thei non dia mi hai jai pai hom non ni hi thei hi manin ki pa huai pathian laka ki pa thoma se pen ge na tu ni Lamka Town Hall Talks episode 4 na episode li na speaker day nei hi PS kwal a hiya ama hi tu le lina Reserve Bank of India General Manager se ama hiya wai ban ama hi asung kwan te to delhi khosalela hi wa aloinu Esther Kimbuang ama hi Sri Ram College of Commerce Associate Professor Delhi University Nwaya sem lela hi I gilaga gautan ni aneiwa wai amau te hi nungak tua ka hi wa khat kum som le sagi a hi khat kum som le ni teirol lela hi a hi wa wai bana tunia speaker dia inei PS kwal hi mi tamzoi ni thei ke khamai theya ama hi mi mal takin ni thei ke ta jongena illamai thei ma diwa ka gin tak anu to pa evangelist pathon khan suan ta naw tu ma hiya wai ban anu hi nu vung bem ama hik mun tuam to ma khosaina I ama ni dangina school high school te school mun tuam to ma nakaya I school kai na ken khat te singa thil model school bang hoi bana I sikima tasi namgal academy chi thong le mun tom toma school te na kaina hoi bana graduation hi delhi I suan mama Stan Steven I 1994 in ana zo hiya hoi bana I RBI tua sepna lel kha 1999 ana join ana zo pa hiya tuni nama ilaka I speaker day nei thei hi ki pa wai ma le I hamphat pi wai isa yung tuniang topic ong gen di a hi le the theology of work ichi ama a concept le a thildang te amanong thugen na panong hi hilchan mai din ka koi mai dinga neu chik ke na mu da ni na I nasep ken khat te khai loina hi yai to kisaina nek tak mu na dia semi hi komina nasep kichi hi pathian thilgel te lakat delo himalo di hiama ikele pathianin nasep to kisaya pathian mu na ai kele biblical perspective banga hiya bible in bangong hila hiya nasep to kisaya ai hi kele pathianin nasep to kisaya pathian point of view on the aspect of work si to kisai banga hiya chi hi ama pan ngai khede hiya kilo poi sama ma hoi bana tamlo chik Lamka Town Hall Talks to kisai kong bi alabjek dinga ken khat yang ki hel khanai lo bang om khathe hi manina khat be yong ki hel na bang om khathe hi manina yai Lamka Town Hall Talks kistia hi le Lamka Young Leaders Forum te sainan waya ki bol to zela hiya khatengina khat ve bek talks nei sai to zel dinga hi dinga yai talks ten khat tuplengi ma hi le tuai lai khang lai nidang chianga tu nung chianga makai ong hi thei ding hi gam sung I society sung makai ong hi thei ding te training le development lam kok deu a hi bana society sunga thil tuam topic tuam ina thil mudan te I perspective pen imit keu hin nai lo ong keu sak thei thilet dan tuam za deu thil mudan dik za deu thilet dan tuam za deu hi chi za deu hile hoi lo dia ye thilet dan hi chi za deu omle hang I khotang pen hoi zal thei deu lo dia chi khong le thil I perspective building te kha ong bol thei tu di hu chi dan ideas te kha ki entertain zela hiya I academic lua hi tuan lo la society applicable thei top speaker te nong gen ke zela hiwa ya kha khanglai te maban etna khanglai te ngai tuan na sek na lampang hi kogi ya hi chi khai thei dinga yai teng kong ken saulo chik chili hang kong in speaker di pale topic to kisai kong introduce komina aman hi chilam ke ong introduce dan le hilo the hi ban mang amang sangna ama hi tu ni na hun be sak tuan to tuan lo wina ma hi hun pe to pa diaman i hunong la to le kwan lang hi na hun hi mai hi atop lama kha question and answer audience dia panom to zel de hi hoi ban honggen nop khat ya content ibol zel te hi i Hornbill Cable Network te to partnership ki hi to hi lamka ayen tu viewers local cable channel tian om zela hi chi kha thei kom le hang chi tunia gong tak la the ding ki pa ki nge ku kwal lang huna hi kholo kong ki an mute thei din kong bol li
non za theu ya
ki zae
mang khal la to ka ki mu ma sa ko itis campus ya Mumbai ka zi ka loi nun PhD la ya aman masters in ka thei hoa ya pana mi ol mo phetetet tu ni ta na wise spirit pen pai lo wa hiai bangon pat khia ti ki pa hoi ka sa hon zon ki swan la wa ka sa ken si dana i mi ke le ka gen se ka God has never called me to preach. God has never called me to the pulpit, but He has called me to the marketplace, and I'll be faithful in that. Chin luata nei lo chi di ya I ka ki lo lo khol ke ya I le ahon gen le ka ngai to na I bang chi ya mina pathian le masak le I perspective pen ke sak thei dan khatom kha thei da ka chi na ja kin ole mang ko ke sadi ka chi ya I tunina I biak pathian na I lung tang kong non sakien lan ama pen a chiang zoi mo na hi le chi de na hi hong ki sa ka hi ya I ka gen na background na assumption kan ik pen o audience di Christian ngen chi a basic assumption te sa pom sa ken khat dia kon na zoom a hi a khat na ni na ke background lampanga a hon gen sa pen gi be lam de kan ik tuan ke ya hi le ka hon gen no pen hilkhat kapai pigi hile. What I believe, the faith that I profess, must make sense in my day-to-day life. Kakin tat bin, if it does not make sense in my day-to-day life, I have no use of it. Si pina na pai pia, hinkuwa na zam kahiya. Pati ani na yai pin hon honor kasama ma. Kalamet lo na lama mi tupi tatak, mi fel tatak, mi deep tatak. Hona challenge di mi hona pegi ya Reverend James Paupu bang ngoài cha Dr. Santos Matthew ni dang ai te boss bang ka believe le ka Johnson na hona challenge di le Bombay akom la na Bombay Baptist Church akum nga kai khoma waya Pastor Jomon Joseph to ka ki hazuwa ahon gen til ka hi di cha na what is your theology behind it chi pen a question to be pen na hi ya example din na khatwe jo housing loan na nailo ka hin inlay ka ut ka chile what is your theology behind looking for a house to invest in hansia hon holim pia hon conclude pi na pen if we are in ministry wherever we are ministry how mi hile a house should be thought of in terms of a ministry center why did it hum dit hog din nan thum pia yai perspective ma kile work pen banga here what is my theology behind my work biblical theology pen thuk pian sut mi som ka hizen zen ke ya what is my theology behind the work that I'm doing the work that I'm doing right now bang biblical basis pansana bang purpose mua na sim ka hi chi hon sherwood ka hizoa just a brief background ina arbe ka zo into in ka first posting patna ahia RBA ya kanawa sum thak home pen na pi mama khatve volt lian pp sumom na in charge in kauma na CMI cha ka class 4 staff ke to omom khatino len hin sir are you a Christian sir to Christian ho on timoka lamdang ka sa mama why bangza ka why do you ask that question kyun puts the whole question katile a background on gen ranchi ya village sa hanglian kahi in Christian missionary te hong paiwa sapte aman chu I pardesi chin award bangon zang hiala ko bangin hong hinguhin skulong honguhin nasatakina I kahin kwa hong ki involve hin nang lehiya ya amenezara omna hinahin I social kia sang kia niam chi ngai to na ni lon ko to takin non kin direct pin I just thought that you might be a Christian hona chi non donga 1999 2000 like Bihar society a caste system visit ma huna I background singa tho ngai khan leta alia na neu chole ki to aveng wung dana iwa thwa pin na lung sima wa so khama ma hidin ka ngai to wa ya pan na ka set na pin ka ngai to na ong there is more to just coming and working in RBI on a day to day basis ka ngai to na wa ya pan ka suit de Bombay ya ka omla ya Pastor Join pathian he pinazia ka pathian in ka part one ki cross saka pathian he pinazia ka hin ko a hon invest na te tom kim tak point to man gen here lil som ka hiya I to pa tan cha den wo zol le chi ka de hi me ngina 40% of our waking hours 40% research finding over here we spend it in our workplace I workplace a hun kizang 40% why hi I workplace pen unless we find meaning and purpose in that place hong nin wai lo ma the hi le it is a place where we should actually find meaning and purpose. Driving principle khat hong hi hian lan khat na ni na I work pen apoi mo dan chu I theilo kala I identity conform to na hina ma mi to ikimu chiang I ki introduce chiang mi to iki introduce chiang ke kamin hiya hi ya next sentence atang pia pasal khol giang bang isep na hong ki gen hi o why sem ka hi at I vai te la khol giang bang asep na ke a designation na tan thawon gen lai du ei ve I zan lamina I damlo ka ve wa damlo ve kongpot hiya de kuna martia hiya pasal tang tu te lo moi mama Max Hospital ka hong pot hiya de kuna midang ka ta hong lu ta ka kya ngam te kya nga wai kwa ka chi le Thingi lo mo ma hon chiwa ka thingi ke ka chi le retired ISA boy identity pen mo asep na pen na identity hi lo ami na tan phai le wai da na thi piu hoi ja ka isep na pen mi nga dia lu lua poi mo lua hi chi hi tu ni na I ngai to thak le hot ka sa athum na di na as a part of my introduction mi kya nga bangzia ka na sem na hi why do you work chi atam zoi na you know survival hin na di nekta mu na di summu na di chi hong na ki gen wai ba na thu ka ngai to ha kholo atang pia Judeo Christian worldview apana what can my work do to me and to the people around me chi pen kingai to ha kholo ki su ka kholo ina sia kina point to me na kon gen lit dia ke ana hin pi le ke ana zui hin pi na the biblical purpose of my work why I work khat na hi work is a command from God Genesis bung khat na ye le pathia ni na leile van siama cha first Genesis chapter 1 pen creation story leile van ganing te single ton genon gena Genesis bung ni na chang ni na ye le hi chi non chi by the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing. On the seventh day, he rested from all his work. That's what my Bible tells me. And he is setting an example for me that I should also work. Genesis the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and to take care of it. Patianin mi hinga hon siama leya hon koi na sanpen to work it and to take care of it. Nasama ma hi. Aman khatna example na set ni na why example na set sapen why sim hedia leya hon koi anahi. Why zaka mi hing pen. If he has placed us on this earth to work and to take care of it. Genesis talk na banga creation story thing yon le. He saw what he created and it was good. Good pen. Pathian it dana perfect. Why a perfect creation in Colombia meaning honor. It's a huge honor to be kept by God on this art work and to take care of it. Pathian command. Anahi kay mukdani na mom. Why kaya hilawin na Exodus ba nga ito ni Israel take yang 6 days you shall work, but on the 7th day you shall rest. You shall work. Command na nakikige mo work pin. Patiyan dana. Ay zaki na Genesis bung tum na swag le hil na hovela hong luta. Hoy zaka itay di chu hil na hong lut ma uha ka na hong hinahi. Work pain, it is not a consequence of Adam's fall. Work preceded Adam's fall. Hilele hil na hong lut siyang ina work pain, toil hong hi, gim tuak na hong hi. Genesis bung tum chang som yasagya. Through painful toil, you will eat food from it all the days of your life. Here sentence ma, curse is the ground because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat food from it all the days of your life. Yay omzia tak chu. Mihing ikiat le. Ikiat kilowina. Creation teng le. Ito kihom. Azia chu. Perfect creation in kol da ko ipin. Kiai hi siya nga. A caretaker pa, a shepherd di pa pin. Ikiat le chu. A creation to kihom. Anakihizo. Wazia ka. Gim tuang na haksatakan yang mu na pin. It is a consequence of the fall, not something, and it and work always preceded the fall. Si ud ihi unina. Why hi le? Iwak pin bang tiyan dihiya mo. Fall nungale waya patiya fall o ma komana na piyak pin bay tuhan lawahi na. If work is a consequence, or if work is a command from God, then I must approach it with an attitude of excellence. I must give my utmost for His highest. But here Nadia, ahoy pin, bangjaga ken pelodi, bangjaga ka attitude pin. Whatever He has given me to do, tunina reserve ka koma. Maybe tomorrow I'll be a teacher. Tomorrow I might be a preacher. Who knows? But whatever He has given me, placed in my hand at this point of time to work and to take care of it, I must approach it with an attitude of excellence. Adamin a fall pain azia nga hiya hizolowina. Apat hiyan command zuilawa tega anik zaka fall ngoma why the creation ng fall home zaka ako nga generation hong pai tia dia inasepin gim tuang na to hong pai izo. That does not still negate God's command. Siud ihi. Why ahi ile work pen? It is part of the original image of God in us. Genesis bungkat na chang som dile God created man in His image in a pen. Why work they are same there. Hona create na pen. It is part of the image of God in me. Why that my work must be performed with excellence, with an attitude of excellence, giving my best, because God deserves my best. God works. He has commanded me to work, and I must also work with an attitude of excellence. My work is a part of God's image in me. Ay ile kanasep namun pina ka-work pen part of God's image in me hiya too. Kanasep namun na kahin ko kavazagdan pen should also enhance the image of God in me. Kaya min pathiya na muna pen kanasep dana attitude kavakeria til decision kavalagdan tiyaka pathian image, pathian character pen, aki reflect ngai ahi. Wazaka work for the sake of work hizolowina. Work to excel for God pen poimo sa kahi theology an siam takken on suit cha mun he Genesis bung ni na word pen a root word a Hebrew word pen avoda ahi hon chiwa avoda pen sapawa in worship ilab na to a root word kibang work and worship have the same root Hebrew root word which is avoda ahile patiani han command ja kan na same kahile kanasep should enhance the image of God in me ahile so that leads me to my second point which is my work is a means for my transformation to the image of Christ bagzia kina pathian purpose in me pen kha to make me Christ like romte bongya chang som ni ligat som ni kwa hong yet suplemo som ni kwa bang kon sim supla for those som ni ligat apan kon sim zoma di and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him who have been called according to his purpose for those whom God foreknew he also predestined them to be conformed to the image of his son but here purpose in what pen to make us like his son Jesus Christ. Pastor Joy nang ginsiya while we are on our way to looking like Jesus, don't think about long hair when you think about this. Character pen mo. God is more interested in my character than my comfort. But yan pen kay character. That character of Mr. Kwal becoming like Jesus, loving like Jesus. Pursuing justice like Jesus. Why character he patian kaya? A create no. Why is that a workplace pen? It is a place or a means through which my life must be transformed. Work is a command. It's work is a means for my transformation. 40% of my working hours kasat namun pena transformation om kailehi mundanga. Tamlo hollow might he would give you work in life situation chikat ahia adiakina Christian background tebang biakin honga kipa it is easy to be happy and content and good natured in the church in life a problem to that pain mundanga hisolowina you workplace a tang pi ahi you workplace a situation bang hong conducive hollow discrimination bang nasty boss kelma ama boss bang kini temptation issues inlam kapaya khat be katanaw teo khatin hong ve in chin khwal no sep na side income om hia ang chi why bang in on ngai to sak pin I workplace I Christian values tun het no lamka a Christian 100% kichi ut ten tan phai le I workplace a Christian value tun loa aside income ken ki pa pi e sep na bang to side income om ki sep na ilon sak di le kilom tan te bang kuchi khop values om na muna ingai to ani chu why temptation issue om pen ai lo le why authority issue om pen why I workplace situation tuam mi chi tuam to mi to khak pen in a Christian belief, faith pen, I internal heart condition pen, hon reflect saka, why pen hon check why no hon transform kelehi, mundang tamloa transform de kiging ta hollow kahi. 2000 Bombay ki transfer 2003 zona ki report kahi kum som likhat ka oma, kum kwa ka oma sungina kum giat sung. Department of Banking Supervision hay commercial bank on-site inspection na RBI team o te department na kauma. Why unlay na Bombay huwa bank so mga vali na head office na iwa. Ka department wa kana wa hile. Why bank te inspection report pen. Hoy taka enhedi digna hi report issue RBI board board for financial supervision put up the central office kaya ngo piak di kanawa here 2007 February na boss thak kanaya tamilian brahmin khat fel ma khwa khoi ma sharp pen ma somebody who immediately sees the big picture a fel ziak ma mi le ib la bai mi le sal loi mai senior PPU pa PP bang akebin na lut dile khol kai he hu khopiala ki line up thei alu di chang ale lao ma why no ya kana se ma hong pai tu ngina i ka department wa responsibility structure on en hia hwal nang mga na on sia tu chat na on site inspection team ka ke hin inspection report department hong tung te anna et hiat anna edit value addition appointment na hi finalize the report issue de ke na hi ka chile ke mi thak ka hi in a procedure pen ta ki adjust for na hin 6 months ke inwai na din after 6 months will decide whether you should continue on sia ki lau pet ma hi mai abel me ka hun samphia mai do intercom thua kwal can you come inside ti chu ama room to ke tu na ki kal som le nga khong di hi ven kal som le nga sunga chu sentence thum khong ki thum man chi dan de hi ya hi le why hun sunga kazil hiat pen every situation in my work I can really do it with an attitude of prayer ka ngai tu hiat kha ngei lo kalung sim command on the cross ngei lo pen I can and I must do it with an attitude of prayer patian kia nga thu ma situation pen to pa ya nang le tel na hi you are in it you are with me chia thum puchina ka thum tam ma khaguk zoi nan samlu ta I have seen you for 6 months I'm happy with your commitment above all else I'm happy with the sincerity you have exhibited here you will sit here as long as I'm here honchia kum ni le kim sum why department head no ma kum ni le kim sum tat million phal ke tu na khatan ko again no pen mi tengin na law ken le ka law pen thum tam sak tu kya hilowina ka work situation every minute pen attitude of prayer approach dia hi on realize sak tu why na hi mai ma why za ka hon gen no pen work situation pen it must transform us to be more Christ like chi ut ka hi it is na ibuai chiang hong a hak sat chiang hong a attitude khen khat ini pen ki resign mai dia lo sep na khek di department dang ki transfer ke di office dang ki transfer ke di attitude ni pen bai lam ma ai lo le mi hak sa pp difficult people to hak ke dena ka boss kon gen banga why hun chang tai siat bai lam ma hi le why hun pen tu ni tan hon realize thak sak tu hi le how can I approach this with a humble spirit God how can you give me wisdom to handle this situation in a mature way with a Christian spirit with a biblical spirit chia hon in sak tu pen man pha til man pha I character hon form tu a hi kaloi no na I what khata jang seka sandpaper people la chia sandpaper pen sing non mam na ngai zati ha why ma banga mi hak sa pp tele e hon tat hiam tu e hon non mam tu I character hon refine tu hit hi ge wa hi why ja ka first point work is a command from God I must do it with a spirit of excellence with an attitude of excellence I must render my heart most for his highest second thing work is a means for my transformation the transformation of my character to be more Christ-like. Ka point hum na kong lut dia. Why I hile pathi anina bangzia ka Christian ka hi chia why faith profess lam te bangzia ka Jesu bat di hon de hiam because he wants us to minister and reach out to a hurting one. Hovel lung kham na he zom na thuak na he zom na injustice he zom na why mun reach out to the hondi why the hon zangut ahi why is that my third point is work is a platform for my ministry I ministry mun ahi chi ut ke veken chu Jesu ma in the sermon on the mount you are the salt of the earth you are the light of the world ma hovel chi te hi hovel va na te hi where is that supposed to be biakin sunga hilo it should be among pre-believers people who are not Christians that's where the salt is needed that's where the light is needed cái Christian character cái Christ-like character pen hon Giêsu ama thì này lo ama ging này lo ama ít na poi mo te la ka atang ki le cái con chỉ đi hoa ya min amu cái vô lệ cái là mà sao mà mai thế hi Giêsu ít na pen cái hình hoa mu liu ging tu lâu tiền cái workplace tu ni na RBI cái xe mà pastor khat hiam missionary hiam khat RBI sunga Bible to thu gen di nong lut som le Nepali security guard pan na hole bang del tak din ong not tailor here de hi but I am there by virtue of my vocation no why I employ kai na sia ka kwa man on kham tailor ka va sermon toy di hiam mi ka va baptist di chi lo ka hi le the way I take my decision there the way I relate with people there or the way I pursue justice there should reflect the character of Jesus Christ there first and foremost. Lee Strobel ina ale khabu khata agil kalung simon khoi mama pen ama Chicago Tribune na investigative journalist hiya azi Christian ahong hi le ging talo lua why this proof would lua ina aman Christian belief pen research on bola azik yang anagin na diglo ahi uta kum ni research bo zoi na ma piang thaka the case for Christ the case for faith the case for creator the case for miracle le khabu tam pion gela waya khata gel khang na pe hi chiang chi ho when I became a Christian I still continue to do what I have been doing but only with a different motive and looking out for different opportunities. Situation haton describe a boss papin khel saloma ama in ni why hun laya ma Willow Creek Community Church aki home event. Ka church wa Easter event kanide ku hin non ki home the young sir this coming weekend sin ka bachia chi hi bo. A boss pa na straight away he refused. He le patient takena Sarah Christian only non since we have this special event and you are being my boss, I thought maybe you'd like to spare some time and come and experience the joy with us. Chi tegina kavazon chi. Ahile ongho tuan kaya chi. Khatampi pa inungina numei khat in kihop top in biakin konga are you Lee Strobel ong chia chi. Yes, I am. Thank you for inviting your boss to come to an Easter service. But he never came. Exactly, sir. That's my point. Why nina kaya boss pa na boss pa is ruma na sema inha kahin na invitation na holim na kanangay out of curiosity why Sunday kong kihom kong kihoble I've met Jesus Christ in that service, and now I'm a believer, and I'm continuing to come to this church. Aman again no pen. Itu dele patian tu panay hollow mi dang ngai tua until dang kisom lehi mai the hidele kabos part of conversation azag zia kina why no na patian amu lo ahon gi non ni argu again no ya hi ihin khozak dan pen mi holim pi dan pen ni kum pandemic situation ina kipataw ma office bang miss 10% 20% ikai hun ogas khai na ka staff de khat physically handicapped a pension de ka mi committed ma handicap ai dung zuya le self pity nei lo attitude brilliant tak na sem kapat ma pandemic situation akyo ma izaka funeral function lekin pi thelo Jima kiche Jima kon part I'm very happy with you. I'm so sorry we cannot give you a decent farewell, but I want to do one thing for you. What is that, sir? Karum sunga before you leave this building for one last time I want to pray for you. Akipag mama ging tulo ten mo Jesu to gen pili honzada di way vetang pina hilade kontum sagiti zata no they accept prayer. Everybody appreciates prayer. Hutina initag lamong hiya office akimal ki kai tuan lo ama kya nga na wala na pai bayin ka chia hu china dak thumin karo manglu ta thum na kan hiwa kan hiwa na bang kon thum sak de ka chi thil ni on gi na khatna in kalehin kiswan de ka hiya pandemic ja ka boy ho thei dam da ka kiswan thik na di nam thum sakin achia ni na atanu nu air force a punia pen de liong pai thik na din on thum sakin achia okay, sure, these two, but I'll also pray for good health for you and your family. Katumwa. December, October, November, December, laki non phone non tumna. God answered your prayer. And now we have moved into our flat in Noida. We are waiting for answer to the second point for my daughter to come to Delhi. Kagayan not pen. There is a need in our workplace. Me Tom how mi patao mi lung why mo na there is a need iki conduct dan mi to ikirelate dan pen to pathian character pen reflect ge there we have to be salt, we have to be light. Our workplace is a wonderful place for our ministry. Why kya hilo na the workplace in why building sunga ehon toilet ke i workplace ak mon tuam te waki paive i RBI na sim lo hileng Bombay ka na posting ngi ke dia Bombay na posting ngi lo hileng Bombay Baptist Church ka na walking ke dia Bombay Baptist Church na walking hello hileng Jomon Joseph le Bizu Joseph mini kumma sum close ta ka hon walk bi hon a disciple te by virtue of my job and being posted in Mumbai, I have God orchestrated the crossing of my path with these two people that has really transformed my Christian life. Misconception can cut in atang pina Christian tina. Misconception pen full-time Christian work missionary akwan di pastor di chike ito. Os Hillman. Today God is first devotional again marketplace ministry amahi akihazan mama na if I can remove one word from the vocabulary of Christians it has to be this full-time Christian work atia hi kasama full-time omngin dapat yan non ordain hi workplace pen dia mihin ko iwa sukha namun 40% of working hours is at namun pin mihin ko iwa sukha na mi iwa comfort na justice iwa distance namun hay kaya chumundang di tamhet lo kamay tiya hi Jesu hi mao mena the third temptation kihon biyayin siya setan na hi ma Jesu don na pin kanang ito aliw te tupi sa kahihay thou shall worship the Lord your God and him only shall you serve. Verb ni sentence kata Jesu nun connect ka worship and service and the vocation that we have the work that we do hi verb ni benon connect na denak abulto nga kongin both work and worship have the same root Hebrew root word which is avoda Jesu ni henya on connect it is through your service that you worship God chiud ahi hoizaka I workplace a service will provide pain but hi ani biak na ahi with that attitude, if approach scale mo, mina ehin ko patian mulowa. Just like one of us on that ipenu, omzia omlo ihinzia omlo ahi. Ken ka department na ya Delhi apatian he pinas kin RBI ya department haton head sakwa. Ka staff de kaya kagen gigit. The Reserve Bank was there before you and I were born, and it will continue to be there even after we die. We will do the work with sincerity, with integrity, with excellence. But it should make us a better person by virtue of doing what we do every day. Ka principle ka GNP ahi ministry ahi ahi full time part time I don't overtime is alawa I work ministry mun ahi that is what God has called us. That is the place where God has called us to be. But a question pen, it's not about full time, it's not about part time, it's not about overtime, it's about whether we are feeling God's pleasure in a workplace. whether we are ministering, we are a minister for God in our workplace. 2 Corinthians 5:18 bangin mo. We all have one ministry, that is the ministry of reconciliation. Ginto tating ministry of reconciliation diaw daily he. Reconciliation between God and man, reconciliation between man and man. Why ministry of reconciliation pin? Kayalehi, nangalehi. All of us are full-time servants of the living God. And if we are full-time servants of the living God, we must approach our workplace with a spirit, with an attitude of being a minister there. It is not what a man does that determines whether his work is sacred or secular. It is why he does it. It is why he does it. A motive pen. Bang motive to work approach here. Why it will decide whether it is sacred or whether it is secular. Are we working just to get a paycheck? If that is the case, we have already missed the point. If our work is divorced from our witness, then we have already missed the point right from the beginning. Workplace attitude, whether it is an attitude of excellence, whether it is done with an eternal perspective in mind, or whether it is only for a temporal perspective. Example din on genleng biakin na pastor te katong pulpit hong ding hen lan hiay biakin na pastor at hong pan na siya lo kamuod siya kahi hong timogle ingay to anak hon kap kamama daging ta kahi mo lo umuod may maya pastor hiletsu munda nga anapay mayo lekit ut pial dehi bang siya kina a temporal til alo mo dikya pastor katida ngai to aletsu why ngai to akoma pathia ni tenga abiakina thuge na ading letsu. He is using what is spiritual, what is sacred, and converting it or turning it into secular. A spiritual sacred pen, secular swa lelong swa kahi hile le a sacred secular pen, he approach now if we have an eternal perspective in mind. A secular pen can also become sacred, can also become spiritual. There is always an eternal purpose, there is always a temporal purpose. A focus pen, which one is our focus? Is it temporal perspective or is it an eternal perspective? If anything is done with an eternal perspective in mind, it is always a sacred spiritual thing. If it is done with a temporal perspective, even the spiritual or the sacred become secular. Pastor Joe Bombeya kaumlaina ichinon siya. While I want to come and see your workplace, you've been with us for quite some time now, few years now. I need to come and see where you are. I would like to see you. Sure, Joe, most welcome katsia. Office a hong hoa. Ichina environment kong lunch di ko katun pia. Apay de kina katebula kaniun katua. Ontum saka. Lord, this is Kual's pulpit. Bless his pulpit onti hive o. Kana sep kangay tuana kikeng fit laliwi wayo niya mo. Ka-table pen, office ka-table pen, ka-pulpit da na nga ito ang ilo. Pastor Jomon Joseph na, this is Kual's pulpit, Lord. Bless his pulpit hong si pen. Man pa sa mama kahi. A spirit of excellence ingay ito kya hilawa. Why pulpit ihoheidan, inasipdan, attitude iva carry pen. In mina hua patian muhia mukehia. Si patian concern hida na ito akahi. Aga hiya pen tutwam. What seed are we sowing there in our workplace? The secular becomes sacred or spiritual if the focus is eternal, but the sacred or spiritual also becomes secular if the focus is only temporal. Bây ka pastor tele kay ngai tu ada na pastor tele kay kikal akibat lo na pen. Pastor te ministry pen God funds it to the tithes and offerings of the congregation, but God funds my ministry through Reserve Bank of India. Khat na ni na pastor adina a pulpit pen, it is in the church. Kia in my pulpit is my workplace. It is in the marketplace. That is where I will comfort the afflicted. That is where I will bring peace to a troubled soul. That is where I will go and comfort people who are lonely and pray for them. See, because ka tunya point tum kahon gin pen. Tom chekin kon summarize dia. Khatna, why do I work? What is my theology behind it? Because it is a command from God. God has commanded it even before the fall. Work is a command. God commands it, therefore I must perform it with the spirit of excellence. Work is a means for my transformation. A work, anasep profile kya hilawa, the people, the environment, it is the place where God wants to transform my character to be Christ-like. Atumna, it is a platform for my ministry of reconciliation, to bring peace, shalom, in the place where God has placed me.
Chile lungdam hoya tun e speaker papan thuman patam thagi ngai kheta question and answer session zel ko zeli manina dot nop kan be nop le be lab nop comments chi hongom le un I hong mai dio un hong hini hangina I ong ki unmute zual mayun la lam ya dena khul likha pastor lam no le no ki unmute theidin kong ko ya audience te ong ki unmute main la dot nop le kub be nop na ne ong gen be mo lam pastor lam video le ngon ngalo
okay ki pa we tu zanina au tu pa hwal ka hun chiria na non presentation kha hoi ka sa ko pastor te di bang ani challenging ma mo thu tam pi ki gen le hi te khong ma kha apoi mo ma ka sa ke ma mi mal ta ka le sin be di thei be dia hoi wana church member te ma ne ka sin sak be lab dia hoi tam pi kha nga ki panina kana sin tha ka ki pa hoi ka sa hi bang message hoi tak le bang commitment hoi tak ne ya nana sep na thu pi ka hon sa ka hon ngai sang ma pathiani na tam semina hon wal zol le chi he ka hon de sang thu ka hon ge na ye bang poimo taka ka hon tel khang se le ka ki pang ma he adot na lampang bel ka hon dot som ke ya ki pa oi ka sama ma hi chibang pathian lim sak le ma ni sep na office mun te pulpit tang ma ngai to the pathian za ta le law iminam sunga inei kha hampha ka ki sang ka bang kan chida hampha ka ki sama ma ka hon chida iminam ten to bang inei kha te hi thupi ka sa ka hon ki pa pi thu le ka hon ngai sang thu ka hon ge na hi ka ki pa ke
kipa hoya lam pastor lam kolkata pastor sim le hi adang dot na dangom non ke le tuni tak program hi chiang zo hi mai dinga live streaming kha khitani